Well, hello, and this is where we've been since the last high-speed video. Springwood Haven Marina. Lovely place. It's an ABC hire base, so it's got lots of engineers, it's got a chandlery, it's the home of onboard energy, you've got boat painting sheds, you've got a slipway. So, we got stuff done here. And there's more to do, more boat bodgery, which is what this video is all about. Well, one of the reasons we had to leave the boat for a while was we were booked into this festival in Duffield in Derbyshire, small festival, really great atmosphere, had a wonderful weekend with our friend Steve and Dee, who you know from these videos at the Eyes Have It Festival Duffield. We saw The Real Thing, who were brilliant. Geordie, Blast from the Past, Bad Manners, not my cup of tea but good show, and would you believe Doctor and the Medics, along with loads of really good up and coming artists. So a great weekend had by all. So we left Springwood Haven, having got that work done, and we've come just a short way down the canal to this little mooring here. We're not going to be on the boat that much over the next few days, so it's convenient, a little place to park the car so we can nip to and from the boat. And we'll be setting off on Monday down the locks on Atherstone. Meantime, got a bit of work to do on the boat, got some people coming to visit, and there's a nice pub just down the canal there called the Anchor. So all good. So this is Dreammaker's engine bay with the Barras Shire 45 horsepower diesel engine, and what we noticed when we got the boat was that that's the primary fuel filter, there's the secondary fuel filter, there's the high pressure injector pump, but there was nothing between the fuel tank and the fuel pump. So any old rubbish, water, particles in the diesel was having to be pumped by the fuel pump. So as recommended, we have now had a fuel filter or a water separator and particulate filter fitted by the very helpful Robbie at the Springwood Haven Marina, ABC, to protect the fuel pump and further protect the engine. And there it is. He made a little bracket, bolted it onto that little lip there, and I can access the bottom of that every 50 hours or so, just to drain off any accumulated water and debris. So Dreammaker should be happier. So this is Dreammaker's shower in the bathroom, and above the shower is this switch. If you pull the switch, the pump comes on, and the idea of that pump is to suck water out of the shower because the shower tray is obviously below the water line, so you need something to pump the water out. You can't just connect it to the outside world like in a house, otherwise the canal would come into your shower and you'd sink. And the problem with this is that stopped working. I think we mentioned that in the previous video. One of the things we've done now is fix that properly. I think I'll take you through how I did that, just in case you've got an electrical fault on your boat, or maybe you're just interested. So, what tools do you need? Well, firstly you need one of these, a multimeter. If you've done physics at school you know how to use one of these. And you also need the Dreammaker Meandering Medic special tool, which is a bit of wire which we had to walk to Screwfix for, if you remember, a few videos ago, with a crimped connector on one end and a bare end on the other, and that's your probe to find out where the power's going. So the first thing we did was connect this to the electrical cupboard and then to the pump, and that proved that the pump worked. So here's the electrical cupboard. That's your 12 volt distribution board with circuit breakers. That's your mains distribution board with circuit breakers. That's our newly installed MPPT controller for the solar, showing that it's already charged the batteries up and they're just on float. And down here is the 2 kilowatt inverter charger that provides mains power on the boat when switched on. So the place to start is at that 12 volt distribution board, and that's where I was able to take 12 volts from to connect directly to the pump to get us out of trouble a few weeks ago. Up there is a cable tray, and here is where the cable tray continues above the bed. What you have to remember about canal boat 12 volt wiring is that most of it's the positives, the red wires. The black wires sort of take care of themselves because everything's earthed to the boat via something in the engine bay called a shunt. So you only really have to worry about the red wires. So the first thing I did was undid that switch, and then I used my special tool to run an earth from the circuit board at the back of the boat, just there, to here, and then I used the multimeter to check whether there was a voltage on that switch relative to the earth, and there was. So we knew that volts were getting to the switch. I double checked that then by using my special tool to connect the switch directly to the pump, and it worked. So I knew that the problem was between the switch and the pump, and I just had to trace that wire. Up above the bulkhead there were some wires, one of which had been nicked when the solar was being installed. So I then used my special tool to connect the positive and probe that wire, and the shower pump sprang into life. So I knew that there was a continuous wire from that point down to the shower pump, so the problem must be between there and the switch in the bathroom behind that bulkhead. Judith was very pleased because it meant taking down those cable trays. I'm not sure she believed the boat would ever be the same again at this point. When I took down this cable tray and traced the offending wire, I found a bare end of wire in my hand, so I think we diagnosed the problem at that point. The problem was that some idiot had crimped 2 wires together under this cable run here. Not only had he crimped them together, which is wrong, he crimped them together very badly, which meant that they'd come apart. So it was a question of taking that down, which meant digging out the wooden coverings for the screw holes. If the camera focuses, you can see here there's a tiny little dowel-like thing that covers the screw that holds that panel up. So that had to be dug out. Once we'd done that, it was fairly easy to find the offending bare end of wire, and I used a terminal block rated at 15 amps, which I think is the most permanent way of joining those. And finally, the very helpful people at ABC suggested that I use these screws with cups to refit the cable run. Almost looks as though they were meant to be there, doesn't it? Quite decorative. So there you are, the Meandering Medic Guide to Boat Electrics, using the essential tools of a multimeter and the Meandering Medic electrical tool. Soon to be patented and available to buy from the comments description of this video. Only joking. Another glorious day on the cut, hot and sunny. And we had a nice morning with Judith's nephew Simon, her sister Denise, and Simon's 2 girls, Emily and Charlotte, who live just up the road. So came to the boat and we went for a walk looking for ducks to feed. Sadly, there were very few of them. I think they're all hiding from the sun. And the afternoon was spent starting to address the little bits of rust on the starboard side of the boat at least. You can see we've just rubbed it down to the metal, put a little bit of red oxide on, and the plan is to cover that with some green paint that's on the boat, which I assume is the same green as it's painted, and then put a little bit of silicone around there to try and stop it happening again. How's it going?
Okay, it's just a bit warm.
You look a bit warm. And then I can get on with carrying on polishing this side, and of course there's the other side to go when we're actually moored up with the other side near the towpath. So I hope you enjoyed this little update on what's been going on with Dreammaker. Cruising starts again on Monday. We've got a birthday party to go to tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.